get really hard, really long and lonely. And at first, it might have been like great and everything was new, like when we have a new baby, bring a new baby home, but then it just gets into the heart of things. And so that's one time in your life when that might happen. Another time is, even when you get older, now that I'm getting closer to that little empty nest thing, I don't have as much that I have to do with my kids. And so figuring out my own time and what I'm doing. And so how can we feel happier when we are just like in the doldrums of life or just the routines of life? And in the podcast, I share with you 5 ideas for how to do that. And they're really super simple, cost no money at all to do. And so the first one is, I really want you to hear this, intentionally plan for fun. I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I plan my days, I generally plan out all of the work that I have to do, and I do all of the work first. And then if the work gets done, then there's time to play. Well, we all know how that goes. That doesn't work. We need to give ourselves permission to actually plan fun in our day. What would it be like if you could wake up in the morning knowing, I get to do something fun today? I get to go out to coffee with a friend today. Or here's one like that I used to love to do sometimes, like, I don't have to make dinner today. It might seem crazy, but like even something little like that can really help bring us some joy and happiness. And it changes up the routine, because that's the thing with hedonic adaptation is it's the routine. We're like stuck in the routine and stuck in the rut. And so that would be the first tip, is if you could find some intentionality for fun in your day. And the second thing is, I love describing this, it's savoring things. So you have a good experience, and most often we just like let it go. Like, oh, that was really great, and we let it go. But we want to learn how to savor experiences. I know when you hear the word savor, you're probably thinking like food of some sort. Lots of foods that I love to savor. But what would it be like if you could savor a great experience? And to do that, it's just kind of like, maybe your child is doing something really cool in the moment. If you have a baby, maybe it's doing something for the first time, or if you've got like a tween, maybe they're learning how to do something in their sport that's new, and you're at a ball game or something. Just taking the time to be present and notice, like, this feels really good. I love watching my child do these things. Or maybe you're doing something. Maybe you're a runner. I'm not a runner. Maybe you're a runner and you're running. Just savor it. This feels really good. When you notice something feels really good, just pause and savor it. It's such it's like a secret way. And here's something else that I would encourage you. Don't just savor that moment, which would be awesome if that was all you did, but what would it be like if you could extend the savoring? And that would be just by going to share it with someone else. If you go and tell a friend or a spouse, hey, I had this great experience today. I went to the Botanic Gardens and all of the trees are turning colors and it is so beautiful. That act of retelling that is helping you savor the moment. It's helping imprint it in you and make you feel happier. It's a beautiful thing. And the third idea that I have is to change things up. And that is something I think back to when, especially when you're, in the same day with your kids. Now that the school year is going, right? Like, we get up at a certain time, we get everybody ready, we get out the door, we're doing like all of these things in the same order, and everything is just, humdrum or always rushed. What could you do to change things up? It could be as simple as driving a different way when you're taking the kids to school. Or it could be something as simple as maybe taking a mental health day. Maybe we don't go to school today. Maybe we take a mental health day and we go out and play. Obviously, if your kids are older in high school, it might not be the easiest idea for the kids, but I'm serious. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing something different. Something that I used to do with the kids was like dinner for me. Just, you guys, I love to eat. I love food, but preparing it is just something you just have to do. And so I would sometimes give myself permission. This actually came from my mom. It was her giving me permission, then me giving it to myself. Like, you don't always have to make dinner. It can be cereal. It can be waffles or something like that. Like, it could be sandwiches. Giving yourself permission to change up that routine. And a story that I would love to share with you guys on that was one night I was preparing dinner, one that was in the crock pot, Italian beef or something. I'd never made it before. And it was taking longer than it was supposed to. And my husband called. He was on his way home from work, and he called, and I was all frustrated because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Dinner's not working out. It's not going to be done. I don't know what I'm going to do. And all frustrated. And he said, he changed up the routine. He said, why don't you just throw in some nuggets for the kids? Let the babysitter come over, because I had one that I was having come over, but I was going to cancel. He's like, let her come over and we'll go out to dinner. This was a Monday. You guys, I mean, this was probably like 18 years ago or something, 17, maybe less than that, but I still remember it because it changed up on Monday, right? It changed up the routine. So, I mean, go out to dinner in the middle of the week or just eat dinner in a different place in your house. You could eat on a picnic blanket or something in the family room. I don't know, I'm talking about food an awful lot here today, so hope that's resonating with you guys. We spend so much time like preparing food, don't we? Okay, the next idea I have is volunteering. That makes us feel happier because we feel like we're being God's hands and feet here on the earth. And so that's always a good thing that you can do. And it doesn't have to be something big and huge like, you know, going down to feed homeless people or something. That's great if that's in your wheelhouse and you can do that. But if you're in like a season right now where that's not in your wheelhouse, what can you do? I mean, maybe you just phone a friend who you know is lonely and needs some support. That's going to make you feel so good. Doing kind things for other people makes us feel so good, and it gets us out of our own heads, right? Like we're sometimes just cruising along in life. Sometimes it's humdrum, sometimes it's misery, sometimes it's just fine, like we said earlier. But if you could think for a moment, how could I bless someone else today? What could I do? Could be a phone call, could be a meal. Anytime that we can get out of our own head and think about how we can bless other people, we are going to feel happier. And the cool thing is that happiness lasts on and it lives. It doesn't just go away really quickly. It's volunteering and helping other people is something that makes us feel so good it sticks with us for a while. So keep that in mind. And I just want to say this too. Like if definitely you're like, I could never find the time for that right now, you could even take that attitude to a child. Like, how could I be of more service to my child in this moment? And I know that we're in service to our child at every moment, but maybe sometimes it's like a little more patience, right? I hope you understand what I mean. Like maybe in this moment, I'm just going to be a little bit more patient. I'm just going to, you know, be here to really listen or something like that. I just want you to be encouraged that for volunteering, it doesn't have to be some big crazy thing. It can be the tiniest little thing, and that will help you feel good. You will feel so good, right? If you give your child a few extra minutes of patience, that will feel really good. Okay, and the last one is super important, and that is connecting with other humans. This is so vital. And I just want to share an anecdote with you about this, that recently I was talking with a couple of moms who lead a mom's group, and they were telling me that before the meeting was happening in their group, that moms were coming in, several of them, that had some kind of heavy, hard things that were going on, like, you know, really hard things like having problems with kids or having problems with a spouse or with their parents. And so it felt kind of heavy to them in the beginning. And so this mom's meeting, they come in, they get some food, they talk with their friends, they have a speaker, they do a craft, and they get to, you know, have some more conversation with their friends. And by the time those moms were leaving, several of them said to the leaders, I'm so glad I came. I feel so much better. And I'm sharing that with you because nobody solved their problem in that mom's meeting, in that mom's group. The problem was still the same when they left, but they felt better. They felt better because they connected with other humans, and they got support, and they got love, and they gave support, and they gave love. I think we all learned a very valuable lesson on this when we went through all of the COVID stuff of how much we need each other. And so working out in your life, how can you connect with people more often if you're not getting that opportunity already? Something I always used to love to do was have the moms over for the play dates too. Play dates are not just for kids. I would love to have the moms there too. Okay, you guys, so that was 5 ideas there for how you can feel happier. These are things that are free, things that you don't need to spend money on. I see my camera's like getting, the sunlight's making me look like a little bit washed out. Sorry about that, but happy for the sunshine. So anyway, if you guys feel like you need more help with this, you can always like post questions in the group and get support there, or just reach out to me privately and I will be happy to talk with you about it and we'll get you the help that you need. All right, I hope this was helpful. Thank you. I saw a couple people stop by, Dawn and Jen, so I'm so happy about that. And I hope this was helpful. And bye from my cloudy screen.